Hello guys, and today we are going to be doing Daily Race C, which is a very good race, one of my favourites in a while. 6 laps of the Nurburgring with the sprint track. In the M6 Endurance, starting in P6 as well. And there is dynamic weather in this race, so unexpected weather changing throughout, so making sure to keep an eye on the radar. I did try to do a race earlier in this race and it started raining after the first lap, but I forgot to buy any wet tyres, so I left that one pretty early. Getting straight underway here from 6th place, and having a look at the radar, you can see 3 cars, 3 wide, coming down towards me, so I was lucky to dodge all of that. A bit of carnage through turn 1, so we're up into P4. The car sending it down the inside, so losing a position there. Towards a sprint hairpin, just trying to stay on the back. Onto the Nordschleife now, just smoke. Porsche goes wide onto the grass, so there's a free position for us. Now right up behind P2 and P3. Bit of touching between them. See the Lamborghini going a little bit wide there. Getting very slow. I decided not to overtake him, but just to bump draft instead, because you can see the way he's moving all over the track. I didn't know which way he was going, so I just wanted to be safe before he goes wide there onto the grass and then straight on into the gravel before Foxhole. So now we're up into P3. We've all lost a bit of time to the leader from scrapping amongst ourselves. We've caught up now to Mule Racing. Go side by side. Having a look, he just holds the inside. Bit of a risky spot to overtake. Still right up behind him. Having a look into Carousel. Got a bit sideways, a bit crooked on the exit there, so it's going to give us a better run. But on the Nordschleife, it's so hard to overtake. We both go a bit wide onto the grass. Moving on a little bit later in the lap. Still right up behind him. And then we just got a bit too much curb onto the grass. Luckily I don't think we lose any positions. Pulled enough of a gap behind. So still sat in P3. You can see in the radar on the bottom right there, there's a little strip of rain. But that colour usually means you can make it through on slick tyres. So there's no need to pit for inters yet, as on the Dottinger here, just gaining so much with a better exit and a bit of slipstream as well. You see the leader pits. P2 goes a bit wide. And then we're going to get the slipstream again. Does a little bit of weaving on the straight, just trying to defend his position. Going down into turn 1. A little bit of contact as he went flying through turn 1. Still nicely tucked up behind him. Gaining time through the exit there and towards the sprint hairpin. Still just sitting right behind him. I really want to get past him before the Nordschleife because we lost a lot of time behind him. So hopefully we can get ahead of him. Up towards the chicane now. Maybe having a look, not quite. Getting right up close to him. He's a bit slow off the exit. So we get to the inside, he sort of turns into me. But I was already ahead. So did it at the last minute, but did get ahead before the Nordschleife. Now a bit later in the lap you can see we're in the rain. However, the little bar showing how wet the track is, that's still at 0. So definitely this light rain, the greenish colour on the map, we can make it through on slick tyres. On to lap 3 now. You can see this Beers Buds guy's caught up to us. I took way too much speed into that corner. He's sort of come out of nowhere in the Beetle and goes flying past. And you can see it's a lot darker now. I was trying to do some fuel saving, going a bit wide and then ended up facing the other way. I was trying to do a bit of fuel saving, but I will have to pit anyway to get some fuel. Still holding P2, got a car coming down the inside though, and then he sort of made the corner and then just thought there was a bit of left-hander needed. So he went on straight, going to the end of the lap, and game saying please refuel. So we are going to listen to it. Sort of a late call. I still actually haven't bought intermediate or wet tyres. So it would have been very bad if it did rain. Just chucking a little bit more fuel in there and back out. We're going to re-enter the race in P4. So hopefully going to be able to catch up some positions. You can see the leader, Beers Buds, he's already made it a minute ahead. He's still miles ahead onto the final lap. Lamborghini comes into the pits and takes P2 out, the NSX Group 3, and earns himself a 4-second penalty. We go side by side anyway, and then he just taps that rear wheel to send us off the track as well. So I've just got to stay somewhat close to him, because that penalty is going to be a big one at the end of the lap. And you can see here we're still within 2 seconds nearing the end of the lap. So just trying to stick within the penalty line is just as you get onto the dotting. So he's going to lose a lot more than 4 seconds because he's going to have no speed. But through the mini carousel on the exit, he's perpendicular with the wall. So we're not going to worry about the penalty to get past, we just get past that way. Which is going to give us a nice P2 to come across the line for our first race. So not too bad. Definitely got to buy inters or wets or both maybe, if there is lots of rain. So on to the second race now. Starting this one in P7, so 1 position lower than we did the last. Still in the same car, the BMW M3 Endurance. Getting underway towards turn 1. You see the car behind us comes zooming through with a bit of a dive bomb. It spins the Mercedes out in front of us. So lucky to stay out of the carnage and get ourselves 1 free position. Ferrari spends a little time off the road. Gets a worse off exit. And then wasn't too happy with the car ahead. Tried to send it into him but goes through him. So now position 5 through the sprint track. Got a bit of a run here on P4. Gonna have a look to the inside maybe. And we are gonna get ahead. Nice little move up the inside. Onto the Nordschleife into P4. Hoping to keep it clean and stick with some of these cars ahead. You can see the Mercedes going a bit wide. I'm not going to bump draft this time, we're going to go around the outside. And we do manage to get ahead. Moving on a little later in the lap. Got some pressure. Go side by side with the Mercedes. It just shows us the outside of the track a little bit. Doesn't really force us out there, more guided us. So now back down to P4, but we're going to chase him. Now, this corner was definitely my nemesis on the track. I just could not get it right. We saw in the last race, I sent it into the wall. Still sticking with this Mercedes before dipping 2 wheels on the grass and holding a cheeky little drift through the next corner. So somehow managing to keep it pointing forwards. We can see yellow flags up ahead here. and it's Beers Buds from the last race in the Group 3 Beetle. So we get past him, but I don't think it'll be for long because he had mega pace. And into the mini carousel, the Mercedes goes a little bit wide, gives us a little tap. For some reason the ghosting isn't really what it used to be. After the update, I feel like people going off stay unghosted, and then it'll ruin your own race as well. On to the beginning of lap 3, and we set the fastest lap actually, which without any slipstream or anything, and it was 8 seconds faster than our qualifying lap. So might have to go and improve that one a bit later. And you can notice the sky's a lot darker now. You can see P5 has come into the pits. And meanwhile I'm turning into a wall. So a couple cars behind coming into the pits now. And I believe they're opting for the intermediates. And I'm just checking the radar there and I can't see any rain. So it does look a lot darker. So I've got to be careful, but no rain on the lookout. But the unfortunate thing about a big track is that the rain could hit halfway through the lap, and then you have to do half a lap, which could turn out being 5 or 6 minutes on slick tyres on a wet track. A little bit later in the lap we've got a run on P3 who's weaving all about. We get past him alright. Going a little bit deep but keeping it on the track. That's all we really need. Going a little bit wide there and then just getting shown the wall again. The Mercedes got a little bit wobbly. Had a little meeting with Barrier as well. Got on the grass there, which is going to give us a little bit of a run, not too much though. Not too much to be able to make a pass just yet. Getting on the grass again. Still on the chase for that podium place. As we're going through the fast section of track now. All over the back of him. Having a look down the inside. And he just tried to make the apex while I was still there. I don't think that was my fault. I don't think that was an ambitious move, but be the Gran Turismo stewards. Either way, we've gone off into the gravel and he gets back past, so back to how it was. Yellow flags up ahead as well, showing briefly, but no positions to gain from that. Now onto the straight. Still just checking the radar and everything. Nothing at the moment. Catching right up to P3 with the slipstream. You can see P2 is going to come into the pits, and us two behind are also going to come in. just to refuel. No tyre changes because there's no rain on its way, and you're just going to lose time if you switch over to a new set of hards. I don't really know how this has happened, but I believe we've jumped someone in the pits. And if you're looking closely, you'll see someone went onto the wet tyre as well. And so I was just double checking for anything on the radar to see if I'd made a Ferrari strategy, but there's nothing there, which is just going to be a standard race to the end, which is going to see us on the podium again. A nice little P3. Not too far back from the leader this time, only 13 seconds. And that is gonna do it for today's video. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to stay tuned. I'll do another video on the Nurburgring, and then stay tuned for the Nations Cup races coming out soon. So get excited for them. Like, subscribe, check out my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.